CM Punk is back on Monday Night Raw and he's bringing over 2 million fans with him. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Punk claims to be the best in the world when it comes to the ring, when it comes to the microphone, and when it comes to commentary. Well, maybe he's even the best in the world when it comes to drawing viewership, because his return to Raw seen Raw go up from last week's. It did a 1.729 million viewers with a 0.57 in the 18 to 49 demographic, but that is not the numbers that we're going to look at today. Yes, Raw is up from last week, but we're going to look at the individual quarters, because CM Punk's quarter was the only quarter to get over 2 million viewers. No other quarter came close to it, and we're just going to run through the entire Raw and look at the numbers. But after this, there can be no denying, there can be no naysaying. CM Punk is for real, and CM Punk is bringing ratings, and AEW need these ratings. So yeah, Tony Khan must be fuming that he threw away Punk just so he could keep the Young Bucks, just so he could keep the Hardy Boy starter pack, you know, in his company. But whatever. So let's break down the viewership here for Monday Night Raw. So we kick off first quarter with the Cody Rhodes live promo. This got 1.723 million. We then go to quarter two with The Rock coming out interrupting Cody. This did a 1.742, so slightly up there, 1% up in the change. Quarter three was Ricochet, JD McDonough. This went down 2% to 1.7 million. Quarter four, we got the finish of Ricochet versus McDonough and an ad break. And this, then the CM Punk promo. So the CM Punk promo comes out right at the end of this, and this goes up 9% automatically. So CM Punk came out just before quarter four ended, and this was 1.862 million. So the best quarter so far of the entire show, and it's not because of JD McDonough and Ricochet, it's because of CM Punk. So we get a 1.862 million, and then we move into quarter five where it was a CM Punk promo, and it got 2.203 million with an 18% rise on the previous segment. And keep in mind, the previous segment was already up because of CM Punk, and then it got a further 18% increase. So quarter four went up by 9%. Quarter five went up by 18%. It got a 2.2 million viewership, and in the demographic it got 933,000, and no other demo came close to this in all the quarters. It was the only quarter to get over 800,000. So this got 933,000. The next highest was the previous quarter, quarter four, just as Punk was coming out. That did 782,000. So CM Punk's got the two highest rated quarters in the demographic, and he's got the two highest rated quarters overall on the show, and he was only on quarter four for like a few minutes, so we've got to keep that in mind. Had he been in quarter four for the entire 15 minutes and it wasn't being dragged down by Ricochet and McDonough, then he would have easily would have had two quarters over 2 million viewers, and that would have definitely bumped up the overall Raw rating. But anyway, let's move on to quarter six. It was Nakamura cutting a promo, Candice LeRae versus Ivy Nile, and DIY versus The New Day. This lost 20% of the audience. We went from 2.2 million with CM Punk to 1.77 million. So 20%, a fifth of the audience tuned out after CM Punk left. That's crazy. A fifth. So for every 5 people watching WWE Raw, one of them went, fuck this, and turned off the TV. We then go to quarter seven. It did 1.722 million. Again, another 3% left. Then we go to quarter eight. Andrade versus Giovanni Vinci. This lost another 5%. Now we're down at 1.636. The next quarter, quarter nine, this went up 6%, did a 1.742. It was the Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch promo with Dominic Mysterio. The next quarter, quarter 10, lost 17% of the viewers. Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. Nobody wants to see this. Sami Zayn sucks. Bronson Reed's just a big fat goof who ain't going anywhere. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Quarter 11, which was the Gable backstage angle, and then Rollins backstage with Jey Uso. This went up 7% to 1.5 5, 3, 6, and then the final quarter, quarter 12, which was Nakamura versus Uso, and then obviously The Rock coming out, battering Cody Rhodes. This went up 9% to a 1.67 million, and in the 18 to 49 demographic, it went up 13% to 779,000. So there you go, guys. The numbers are in. The overall number for the show was 1.729 million, but the CM Punk segment was 2.2 million. So the CM Punk segment has completely dragged this up. And could you just imagine if they featured Punk throughout the show? So you've got all this crap just dragging the Punk shit down. If you just put Punk on the show, if you put guys that can draw on the show, then maybe Raw can get close to 2 million overall. But when you're losing 20% after Punk leaves and you're going from 2.2 million to 1.7 and then pretty much maintaining that and then losing it towards the end of the show, then you're in trouble. So yeah, if this doesn't tell you who the draw is in WWE, then nothing will. Overall, Raw did 1.729 million. There was only 2 segments on the show that did higher than 1.7, and both of them featured CM Punk. And even quarter 4, it only featured Punk for a few minutes. Had it featured Punk for the full thing, then it would have just been pretty much identical to quarter 5, where it did 2.2 million. So CM Punk is the draw. CM Punk does bring ratings in. I know some people don't like him. Some people say he's overpaid. Some people say he's not worth this or he's not worth that. CM Punk is the biggest thing going today in professional wrestling outside of The Rock. When you look at people that can still go, when you look at people that are still, you know, full-time. I know Punk hasn't really been there, but that's more because of injuries. But when you look at people that have a future in wrestling and that are going to be there week in, week out, CM Punk's your man. He's the guy that you want to be building these shows around, not that fake-ass tribal chief, the head of nothing. Roman Reigns is head of nothing, right? He's at the bottom of the table feeding on the Rock scraps, okay? He's taking the scraps for the final boss. So that's all that Roman Reigns is doing. Seth Rollins isn't a fucking draw. It's been proven now. How long has Seth Rollins been on Raw and achieved nothing? Brought no ratings to the show. Punk comes back, and you can't say it's because it's in Chicago. All the people that were watching, all the Chicago audience were in the arena. So Punk getting 2.2 million has got nothing to do with the fact that it was in Chicago, and it's got nothing to do with the Chicago people. It's got everything to do with Punk being a draw, Punk being a star, and Punk being the most must-watch guy in WWE. It is that simple. So there you go, guys. The ratings are in. You talk about a ratings draw. You talk about a star. You talk about someone that's worth one of those Tony Khan deals, those $5 million a year deals. Punk's the kind of guy that's worth that money because he can actually repay you. There's value in Punk because he is the best in the world. That's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Being Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and until next time, peace.